अस्सलाम वालेकुम। एस&टी इन्फ्लुएंसर एक बार फिर आपके साथ हाजिर हैं
और आज हम लेके आ रहे हैं आपके लिए एक स्पेशल इंटरव्यू एक बिल्कुल स्पेशल गेस्ट के साथ। वो हैं एक प्रोफेसर यूनिवर्सिटी में यहाँ पर स्वीडन में, और वो हमें गाइड करेंगे कि आपने यूनिवर्सिटी स्कॉलरशिप के लिए जब अप्लाई करना है तो उसका प्रोसीजर क्या होता है, उसका सिलेक्शन क्राइटेरिया क्या होता है, और वो आपको इस मामले में गाइड करेंगे कि आपने अपनी जो स्कॉलरशिप की एप्लीकेशन है उसको बेस्ट कैसे प्रिपेयर करना है। So viewers, we have Professor Benny Lovestrom with us, who is working at BTH. And we will be talking to Benny Lovestrom in order to get some really good guidelines for you guys so that you can make very good applications for scholarship while applying for university scholarships here in Sweden. Welcome, Benny, to our video.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here. I'm happy that you asked me for this interview.
Yes, our pleasure that you are part of our channel. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I can do that. I'm Benny Löfström. I am working at Blekinge Institute of Technology, which is in the southeast part of Sweden. And I am the dean for the engineering department, and the faculty of engineering. I'm the dean. And in addition to that, I have scholarship and tuition fee responsibilities. I'm a manager for those parts.
Well, could you tell us a little bit more about your responsibilities in relation to the scholarships?
Yes, I mean, students who are applying to our university, they can also apply for having a scholarship to reduce the tuition fee. And then I am in the final step of that, the decision who should get the scholarships. I am deciding that, but we have like a process for it. And also yearly, I am the one who is running the tuition fee level discussions at BTH. Our university is called BTH.
So for how many years have you been on this position where you could deal with scholarship selections?
Sweden introduced tuition fees in 2011, and I have been responsible since that for the tuition fees and the scholarship.
You said that when students apply for a program, then they also apply for a scholarship, and then you can do their selection. But if I remember correctly, it's also possible that a student can start his program without scholarship, but after maybe passing one semester, they can apply again for the scholarship. Is that true? And how that works?
Yeah, it's true. We have two different kinds. We have the one we call a scholarship for prospective students, and we have for current students. So even if you don't have a scholarship when you start, you can, if you study a two-year program, two-year master program, you can for the second year apply for a scholarship. And this is valid, of course, only for students who are obliged to pay tuition fee. So Swedish students cannot, and also European students, they don't pay any fee, and they cannot get any scholarship.
But the scholarship really is that you could be waived of your tuition fee 100%, 75%, or 50%.
When we started out some years ago, then 2011, we had these levels you mentioned. We have now found it is much better for students and for us. We have only 50%, mainly 50% scholarships. 25 is a little bit too little, and we also sometimes had problems with 100% scholarships, that students who needed that, they could not afford the rest of the costs to come here. So, I mean, the scholarship, as you mentioned, is only waiving the fee. We don't hand out any money for covering other costs.
Yes.
So, and we have a fixed amount of money we can use, so we now have decided to use it mainly for 50% reductions.
Okay, so glad to have you, Benny, here. And I think the insight that we are getting, it's quite useful. Now I will take this opportunity and ask you about the criteria that you use typically to award the scholarships.
For the prospective students coming for the first time to BTH or starting a new program at BTH, we look at the academic merits in the studies before coming here. We don't look anything into the need, for example. We don't have any financial report from the family, anything like that. We base it purely on the academic merits. So that is typical what you do in your bachelor studies before. We look at the grades, the GPA, or it can vary a little bit. Sometimes we for some programs we focus on some of the more important courses. What are the grades there? And also, yeah, that is the main things. So the grade of the previous studies.
So basically, you said that the grade is one of the most important thing in your previous studies. But if someone has, let's say, good grades, but he or she has some work experience as well, and in the work experience they have proven themselves to be doing something very good, does that affect or not?
No, currently we don't take any of that into account for the scholarships, but we have some programs where it is required to be admitted that you need to be working 2 years before admission. We have the MBA, and we have also the master program in strategic leadership. There you need to be working 2 years before you can come. But for the scholarship, we don't have we don't look into work experience.
I see. And just now in relation to this one, this is the criteria for BTH, for instance. Is it the same criteria in other universities maybe you're aware of, or they have their own way of evaluating students?
I cannot say totally how it's done in all places, but I mean, generally it is based on your previous studies, your what you do there, what kind of grades you have, how appropriate your education is. If it's like very central for this master program, then it also is weighing a little bit more than if you are studying something remotely connected to that program. But therefore, if I should mention also the scholarship for current students, then we base it mainly on what did you do, how did you manage your studies during the first year here. Then you can, based on that, get a scholarship for the second year. If needed, we can look into also previous, if needed to sort between the applicants, we can look into previous studies, but mainly it is based on what you do when you come here to us. So you need to take as much credits as possible, and also have a good grades there. Then you can get the scholarship for the second half.
So Benny, the main aim of this video was really to help the new applicants from Pakistan who can use the guidance from you in order to best prepare their applications for scholarships. So any final message from your side in order for them to prepare their applications in the best way they can? Would you say something about it?
I think I can have two different recommendations. One is to, of course, to study hard, focus on getting good grades, especially on the mathematics and the engineering parts, because we have mainly engineering programs here. little bit spread about what kind of engineering it is and so on. So this is, of course, but that's an obvious one. You need to study hard to get scholarships to go on. And of course, you need to apply for it, because we don't award if you don't apply. That is actually the money we have for this from the government. It is required that students apply. So we cannot, even if there is a good student who didn't apply, we cannot give a scholarship to that student. So they need to be remembering, apply for the program and apply for the scholarships. But the second thing I would like to say is that there are, now I'm talking about BTH scholarships, but there are also other scholarships that you can use to study at universities in Sweden or in BTH, like the Swedish Institute. It's very important to look into the Swedish Institute scholarship section, because they are, I mean, they're all for different countries, depending on which country you come from, what kind of studies you're going to do and so on. Then you can apply for Swedish Institute scholarships, and they are very good because they also cover your monthly costs. That is a really good thing to get. And also look into other scholarships that are specific maybe for your country and so on. Sometimes there is I'm not sure if there is any special Swedish, Pakistan scholarships or like that, but look into that. Maybe that can be a theme for another video information, to look at what kind of other options are there to get financing for your studies.
Yeah.
The last question in this direction, that which programs or how many programs do you have under your faculty where students can be eligible for scholarship?
It is varying a little bit between the different years. I should maybe, but it's mainly five programs, because it's only the campus-based programs. We have chosen not to give scholarships for the distance-based programs, like we have an MBA program. We want the scholarships to encourage students being at the campus. Now this year it is a little bit different, where we have decided that the first semester can be studied on distance, but still we regard this as a campus program. So we award scholarships also for that now.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Benny, for being part of this video.
Thank you.
And thank you very much, viewers, for watching this video. We hope that you have found this useful. If you have any questions in relation to university scholarships, please feel free to ask questions, and we might actually forward those questions to Benny and get answers if we feel the need of that.
You're welcome to do that.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Benny, for being so kind.
Thank you, Benny.
Thank you. Thank you for calling.
Until we make another video, bye-bye.
Bye for now.